Welcome to Indiana Dunes, where you can get a golden tan, a mouthful of sand, and a majestic view of Chicago. Look at that sign. It looks so official, so innocent. It says it's a 1.5-mile trail. It says it features 3 tallest sand dunes in the park. What it doesn't say is that those 1.5 miles are measured in vertical sand steps that feel like quicksand. We're looking at Mount Jackson, Mount Holden, and Mount Tom. Total height, 550 vertical feet. Total regret, immediate. We're off. Day 1, hour 1, minute 1 of the Great Calf Muscle Mutiny. Look at that incline. Photos do not do this justice. It's a 40-degree slope of pure, unimpacted beach sand. Walking on this is like trying to climb an escalator that's going down while wearing lead boots. We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully conquered Mount Jackson. Of course, my heart rate monitor is currently screaming at me in the language I don't understand, and I'm pretty sure I've inhaled a quarter pound of Hoosier dust. But man, you can't beat this.
What's the trick to coming up the hill, Tim?
Follow Timmy's footsteps.
Keep her moving.
So if you climb a giant mountain of sand and don't document to prove it to social media that you actually did cardio, did it even happen? No, it probably didn't. So time to assemble the crew, strike a pose, and conceal how badly our legs are shaking. And get those group shots in. Mount Holden. It's 184 feet, but at this point, our legs are convinced it's the Swiss Alps. You can see the team's strategy shifting here. Fewer jokes, way more deep sighing, and a collective silent prayer that the third dune has an escalator. Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
So when do we start going uphill?
Yeah.
So just when you think the trail is nothing but a personal vendetta against your calf muscles, the dunes throws you a curveball. Check these out. These are wild lupines, and they are actually the secret superheroes of the dunes. You see this loose sand we've been complaining about? It has almost zero nutrient. Nothing should be able to grow here, but these flowers have literal superpower. They can take nitrogen straight out of the air and pump it into the sand, fertilizing the ground so other plants can survive. Next up on our botanical safari, the wild red columbine. Because they hang upside down like a bunch of tiny chandeliers, regular insects can't land on them. Instead, they are custom engineered for hummingbirds. The sugar-rich nectar is hidden way up in those long, narrow spurs at the top. A hummingbird has to hover upside down and use its hyper-extended tongue to get it out, getting dusted with pollen in the process.
Thanks for the confidence, the vote of confidence.
Shall I go?
Sure.
Okay.
Last up, Mount Tom, the big boss. Standing at 192 feet, the Park Service gave us a wooden staircase to help. But man, calling these stairs is a stretch. This is a vertical ladder to the heavens. At this point, our thighs aren't just burning. They are actively staging a walkout. It's steep and brutal, but the finish line is right here at the top. This isn't just a national park. It's a national park with a factory option. Right there is 1/4 of America's entire steel production. Honestly, where else can you get a romantic sunset, a pristine beach, and heavy metal machinery that probably built the frame of my truck, all in one photo? It's basically the birthplace of American horsepower. But wait, it gets better. Walk down a few steps, duck around a couple of trees, and boom, there's Chicago. You're standing in the middle of a forest in Indiana looking across 30 miles of Lake Michigan at the Willis Tower. It looks like a sci-fi mirage floating on the water.
It almost looks fake when you look on the phone.
After all those stairs, our throats were drier than the sand we just climbed. Time to settle the dust. We headed over to Flannery's Tavern for a cold one. Walked into a literal wall of smoke. So we headed right back to the beachfront to the Dunes Pavilion. Now this is more like it. A cold brew with a lake breeze, no smoke, and a front row seat to the water. Cheers to the surviving the 3 Dunes challenge. Our legs might be dead, but at least we're treating the recovery process with the respect it deserves.